Oh god, is that just falling down?
Like a well-oiled machine.
Are you? Well.
This whole process.
Right. Going live. Game's a touch loud, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that'll be the first thing to turn down a bit when we get in there.
I'll turn this.
Oh, nice.
Already got people following.
Why is this on the moderator's screen rather than the
So no, that's the
chat?
The chat, yeah.
But someone's following without even chatting?
Right. We're good. Off we go. 3, 2, 1. Hello!
Hello,
everyone. It's Matt here, joined by Jules. And thank you very much for joining us here on PC Games End's live stream on Twitch and on Facebook. And today, we're playing Iron Galaxy's Extinction.
Yes. Now,
it's a game about smashing monsters, right?
Yes, but I feel like we should very quickly get in on the... If you're familiar with Attack on Titan, you'll probably get the idea of what you need to do in Extinction. So it's basically giant 150-foot trolls are attacking humanity's last cities, and it's on us to cut off their limbs, break them down to their knees.
Yeah, essentially the only way that you can kill the ogres in Extinction is by chopping their heads off, or at least by doing an attack to the base of their neck, kind of this area here. Which, yes, if anybody has watched Attack on Titan, they'll be very familiar with this.
Awesome. Thank you very much for following, Grandma.
Yeah. So you can, if you're watching us on Twitch, you can always click that follow button if you want to see more of what we do. We do plenty of streams. There's usually between sort of like 2 and 4 every week, I think we do. Yeah. But let's get ahead with Extinction. Now, I do apologise. I'm going to be playing with a mouse and keyboard, which I feel isn't the most optimum sort of like control input for this game. However, due to technical issues, i.e. Windows literally not recognising the controller.
It's an official one as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an Xbox One controller. Anyway, Chapter 1, Enemy at the Gates. Jackal scouts have been sent out ahead of the invading Ravenai. Ravenai being the name of the ogres.
Yes.
Avil, who I believe is me, yes, must evacuate the citizens of Tablis before the Jackals overrun the village. Well, that sounds an important job to do, right? Saving people.
So you've played this before, right?
Yes, I think I might actually have played this mission.
Oh, right, okay. So, because when I've also played a build, and the one that I played was literally just like a troll attacking a town.
Didn't have any of the little minion monsters in it.
Exactly, yeah.
Right.
So whereas this feels like it's going to be just minions. Let people watch the video. Oh, that's not going to help.
Fairy tales to inspire hope in a world with none.
It's interesting that it goes for the almost anime style as well.
Mankind had been at war with itself.
They've got a lot of ab armor, you know, like it's sort of a. You could just have that as a sheer plate, but no, they've.
By the sword and my wits, neither of which kept me from being sent to a labor camp.
So it feels like this should be telling the story of me, but I'm fairly sure that I'm not a girl.
It would have been a death sentence had I not made a friend.
Oh, there we go.
Avil kept me safe.
All right.
And I kept him sane. And together, we would change the course of history.
What a titanic giant.
Well, I'm sure we can find a way of bringing them down. Yeah, so I think kind of like this mission, should I say, is largely more to do with the minions.
Yeah.
Yes. I've almost reached the village of Tablis. You were right, Sandra.
How many?
This place is
5 abs.
He's doing well.
Yeah. Oh, so it's 2 pecs, 8 abs. There we go.
No. And I'm not exactly getting a warm reception from the locals.
I'm sure they can be seduced by your charms.
Must have very high charisma skill.
Joking, sort of. They may, however,
Well, judging from the trailers, I think you've also put quite a lot into agility. Thank you for the follow, Boulder Prime.
Myself missing your company, Sandra. How long do I have before the jackals arrive?
Not long. If you don't act quickly, the villagers will be slaughtered.
Oh my god, they'll be slaughtered, Jules.
I know, and how would we be able to live with ourselves? Though, that said, in our Into the Breach stream, we did lose 142 people, so I feel that's the current kill count.
Okay, right.
So
I can only save up to a maximum of 15, so...
Yeah, we might get 3 more missions. Ooh, well, that's not going to do us back any good.
Use your basic attacks to slay them before they slaughter the villagers.
Yeah, high charm stats.
Now charge the crystal to activate the portal and rescue the civilian.
Okay, I can do that.
Ooh,
I don't understand what's happening. What are those things? Who are you?
My name is Avil, the last of the
Mate, you've not got
Global
time to
Trooper,
chat.
Mighty Pirate.
I don't know anything about fighting monsters.
Well, that's alright, you don't have to,
Here's
mate.
something you can do for your people.
Is that?
Something that will save thousands of lives.
Make them some
Tell me
cheese.
what to do, and I'll do
Everyone
it.
likes cheese.
Take this gemstone and personally see that your king receives it. And when he does, tell him to speak my name into the stone.
Okay,
Feels like it's getting onto a lot more story than we need for a tutorial.
The enemy has started killing civilians. Avil, you must act quickly.
oh god. Not the civilians, no!
I mean, that's a good point, Dimension Satire. If she can teleport using the stones, why not teleport herself? I mean,
These refugees are lucky you showed up in time.
I guess it's looking for an opportunity to show off.
Ooh, I can fly. I can
Oh,
fly,
it's,
Ma!
That's quite.
If you're ever lost,
I do enjoy how much like
anytime.
freedom of movement you have with this. Like sort of be able to leap through the air for quite that much of a distance as well. Like this is sort of like a simple double jump. This is a full-on air dash.
The people of Delorum shall be indebted to you, Avil.
All of this has got kind of like a World of Warcraft sort of look to it, hasn't it? That very sort of
Chunky
exaggerated,
and-
chunky fantasy, yeah.
Absolutely.
I quite like the colours that they've chosen. It's nice that...
Avil, you
I imagine it would have been very tempting to have made it quite grim and kind of dark,
Yeah.
and I feel like I'm very much over grim and dark now.
That's it. I am always, thankful for games which are really embracing colour. We're past the 2000s and the
Yeah.
Unreal Engine 3 grey smear palette. But- Okay, can you jump off buildings?
I can jump onto buildings.
Okay, I want to see some almost Titanfall-esque.
Okay, I'll
leaping
try.
between.
I was playing Titanfall 2 yesterday,
Okay.
so I've got it in me at the moment.
See, now you've been playing Bloodborne, you've been playing Titanfall 2. I feel like between them,
I've got the right sort of skill set.
Exactly. I feel like you've been training for this, even if you didn't realise you were.
Yeah, I say I had no idea I was doing this stream. I did, because we were supposed to do this on Friday, and then we got snowed out the office.
Yeah, until we just got that minor blizzard come in, which is fine for the middle of Bath.
I do apologise, I lost a refugee, so therefore, you lost some buildings, I've lost a refugee so far.
Alright, you're a monster.
Oh, good God.
Who are the
no.
real monsters? You or the obviously 150 foot tall monsters?
There we go, so there's another one out. Ooh, there we go. See, these are trampolines.
Oh, that's cool. I always wanted a house with a trampoline on the roof. Like, that's just as health and safety goes. If you're 3 stories up and you're on a trampoline and there's no walls,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
not even a, what do we call it, a safety rail. That's asking for trouble. As they always say, the first victim in a war against giants is health and safety.
Right. Oh, I think that's another follow.
Thank you very much, Madness.
Look how bouncy the trees are. They're such bouncy, such good luscious leaves.
Ooh, that's Come on, lads, kill a couple more cities. 2
Oh,
civilians
no.
down. 3 down even.
Fail.
What?
Ooh.
What?
You didn't save 15 civilians.
Oh,
First first
bleeding
mission.
hell.
Just
I mean, it hardly gave me a chance.
I mean, I'm just saying with Into the Breach, I managed to Well, it was 142 to be fair.
I sort of don't think it's fair to let you fail the first mission.
Avil, did you make it to Delora?
Look,
You were being cocky, kid. That's what it was. Get in there and kill some demons. And, yep, drink.
The jackals are hunting down
They think this is
civilians.
coffee. It's not coffee.
What's in your cup?
Well, it was coffee.
Great work.
No, it's not. I was just trying to suggest it might have been. That was inappropriate at work.
All right, Don Draper.
Exactly. That's why my afternoons are always so unproductive.
Right. So presumably there are only...
The enemy has started killing civilians. Avil, you must
Already
act
one
quickly.
down. Alright. Kill him. On to the next.
Oh, we've got to save this one.
What happens if you just leave the gems until later?
That's a fair enough point.
Because, I mean, they're cutting down civvies left, right and centre. Why are they called jackals if they're just mini trolls? A really good point. Like, yep, mini greens.
Maybe they're the first
Hulks.
line of evolution, right?
Just calling them peons. The emphasis on the PEA.
I see.
Or, you could have a whole greenery line on these. Like, you get sprinters, which are runner beans. Basic unit, peons. If they've got shields, they're blockerlies.
Oh God. Oh dear.
No? What about something to do with leaks?
Look, this is why I work across from the office from you. Stay off my farm, people.
Actually, if this were to have a mod engine and someone came through and basically made it into giant vegetable assaults, I'd be quite happy.
You've got this on the mind now, haven't you?
Yep. This is going to be the next hour.
Oh, well done. Oh, no!
Ooh. Let's hope that it was no one you will care about.
The citizens of Delorum are lucky to have you, Avil.
I don't have to get many more now. Where are those ones on there? Oh.
You should rescue the civilians.
Yeah, well, it's not like I'm being lazy about it, am I?
These refugees are lucky you showed up in time.
Yeah, they bloody well are.
Thank goodness someone's come to help me.
Right,
I
not that many
couldn't
left.
Save
try
two
and
more.
escape those beasts.
There was a...
Right,
Calm
there's-
it down.
That's it. You just get this guy on the top of this building and the person on top of that building, and you've got them.
There we go.
That's the
That's the
final.
building I was thinking
So
of.
what happened before then? Was it like
I think they killed like enough
thanks
of
for the
them
follow.
to mean that I couldn't have done the 15.
Yeah. So even when you got the final of the gems, there were already
Yeah.
too few around on the map. Okay.
Send many of the townspeople to safety.
Oh, because you went for the rooftop ones first, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I know. I sent your.
I thought it'd give me a little bit of time to experiment with the jumping.
Apparently
and-
not. This is a game that demands the best of
I
you
know
from the
how
very
you
beginning.
feel, but we're out of options. We will need to coordinate with the royal forces to fight the coming hordes.
Okay, that's fine. I
Take
can
it
do
to
that.
the trolls.
The jackals I killed. They were scouts.
But for
Yes.
what?
I hope you're ready. Because the
Oh,
reveal will be
no.
taking soon.
There we go.
So, how much is this game? It's currently being sold for, I want to say £50 on.
Look on your phone.
I'm going to look on my phone, but it's out on the 10th of April. Let's see. Already because it's also out on PS4 and Xbox. So I've seen those prices. Yeah, $60.
Is there not a Steam entry that you can look at? Thanks for your follow. But yes, it is on PC. We are literally playing it on PC right at this moment.
And need to tell them how old I am. So say I was born in 1930.
It's nice.
And it doesn't have a price on here. Yes, so it's $60 on Xbox One. I assume it's probably going to be the same on PC as well.
Yeah.
But it's out on the 10th of April. And yeah, so with that you get what we're playing through at the moment is the campaign, but there is also sort of the scenario builder, where it's sort of
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, so this is one which will sort of give you you essentially we'd need to look at it more deeply. I think it's basically you pick a map and you pick sort of you can pick sort of what Raveni is going to be attacking you, and because the Ravenis can come up with quite a lot of customization in the sense of what armor they're carrying, and so that means how you need to take them down as well. That scenario builder is one which sort of could give yourself quite a large challenge, which is quite a nice thing. Thanks for the follow handle.
So presumably that scenario builder is the idea that that you then publish those online.
I don't know.
Because that sounds like a kind of cool, you know how like Portal had so much life after Portal?
Yeah, or like for instance Hitman contracts. With that sort of thing of like, okay, I'm going to make myself something really difficult and I'm going to challenge myself to it and then see if anyone else online can do it.
I should use my dodge to avoid jackal attacks.
Oh, they really go straight for the civilians, aren't they?
It's alright.
Things, aren't they?
There we go. Kill 8 jackals.
What is this tower?
We use the watchtowers to keep an eye out for threats. From the top, you can see far.
That's good.
Climbing the watchtowers would give me a better vantage point.
I'm sure that would be the case.
Yeah.
Let's get ourselves up.
Okay.
Woohoo! Wee! Look at me, Ma!
Now, do you know how to use your hook shot?
I have no idea. I don't even know if he has the hook shot at the moment.
Because I remember when I played this at the some event recently, it was sort of like I just had no idea he had a grappling hook until sort of partway into the demo, just pressing the wrong button.
Do you know what button you did press? Because it appears that I do have a grapple because it keeps highlighting.
So I'm afraid I only was playing on a controller, so I don't know what the control scheme was for it. But I think you need to work out how to use it soon. Okay, now, so your weapon is building up charge. Is this from kills, or is this combos?
I can't remember what it's based on, but it's what you use to essentially decapitate the Ravenai with.
If it weren't for your noble efforts,
This is only the beginning. If any of us are going to survive what's coming.
Yeah.
I have a contact on the court.
Let's get through this.
Yeah, let's just
I feel like
keep moving.
what people want to see is the execution of giants. I like that you sort of, rather than fighting off the things there, just like go straight for the gem save, teleport them out of the danger zone.
A civilian has been killed. Oh no.
He's a pretty big guy, isn't he?
He's large. He is, as I believe the kids say, an absolute unit.
Built like a brick. Oh, what's this?
Aim at the Raveni's armor and limbs. Release rune strike to attack.
Okay, so this is the stuff that I think people are probably the most interested in, is getting hold of this slow motion thing. But you have to break the armor first.
Okay. So you can't just like go straight up to the neck and...
No, I don't think... No, you have to sort of climb. Oh.
So I like these essentially, for his leg armor, it's just barrel slats. Which makes me think they have giant drink barrels. Oh, here we go.
Now, Avil, execute the Raveni.
Bloody hell.
There we go.
That's
That was easier than I remember it being. I think maybe it was a case of the guys with the more chunky armor, you couldn't climb up the leg.
You took his head off.
Yeah, I did take his head off. I mean ain't no thing.
Quite a big thing. That head could crush a house.
Well, he's not going to be crushing any house. Well, I guess unless his body now collapses into a house.
I mean, it's got to go somewhere.
And there we go. That's mission 2 done.
Fair enough. There's a couple of questions at the moment about sort of like how much compared to like the game's price, if it's worth what you're getting, and these sorts of things. I know what we need to say is we're just starting it now. We've not yet got far into the campaign to know sort of what scale of campaign it is. I'm really interested to know more about, like, as you go through the game and sort of the revenue that you start unlocking, how much variety there is in the trolls, because that's something which could then feed a huge amount of replayability into that scenario.
So the bits that I played when I've seen it before, I mean, if you want to go over to pcgamesn.com and if you search for Extinction over there, you should be able to get what I wrote about it. There was quite a lot that they showed me. I mean, these kind of green ones. See how this guy's got... Yeah. So that padlock that's on his head, you need to break that off before you can get his helmet off. Okay. And obviously by taking his helmet off, he can get to the back of his neck. So it does have some interesting ideas about that.
So this is like the chastity belt in Robin Hood Men of Tights.
Yes, yes. I'm
Sorry,
sure that wasn't the...
the source material.
Yeah, that came to mind when they were doing this.
I think I broke your train of thought there.
So we're trying... I can't really remember... Oh.
To Dimension Satire, if the green skin and purple shorts isn't a Hulk reference, then it seems a very unfortunate choice of colour scheme. Though, of course, green and purple do go very well together.
Of course, yeah. My sister once had a green and purple room.
Oh, God.
She was not a fan of the Incredible Hulk. She was just, a mid-2000s teen.
She was a big Watchmen fan. Actually, wait, is that purple and green, or is it just purples and blues?
Largely purples in Watchmen, but there is a bit of green. But yeah, it's very famous for its...
purple palette.
Purple.
Ooh,
Fuck.
That is...
battered me out the sky like a fly.
Can I feel that in the morning?
Oh dear.
Hit you so hard your HUD smashed.
It did indeed. It's alright, I'm back from the dead. Oh, this is a thing. You don't sort of die in the same way that you do in other games. You just come back.
Okay, so it did say you'd get an achievement for killing it with both its legs. I'm assuming, so I read that in the sense of take off both its legs, but actually it means just go straight for the head.
Yeah.
And the legs.
So the thing is that, so I can't remember how you get...
Alright, so if you leap out a bit, and then...
you can use, so I need to build up the rune strike, that's the thing.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember how I did that.
Can you go straight for the leg armor? Like go for the...
No, so I think you can only do it through rune strikes.
Okay.
So I'm guessing I have to go and save some civvies.
What happens if you right click at the moment?
You go into it, but I don't think you can do it.
Okay.
Well, we'll try it, because I might be able to with what little I've got.
Ooh, that is a real hangnail.
Oh, there we go.
Handle, you're definitely right about the lotion front. I feel like...
Careful, Avil.
Ooh.
Find cover to regain your health.
Oh, be quiet.
I feel like... Now, what I've learned from watching Queer Eye over the weekend is that you'll need some brown sugar, coconut oil, and that should work as a great exfoliant on those feet. Now,
if you say so.
Don't know about the nail.
There we go. So see how I've got
It's a hefty thing.
Great job. Keep it up.
Ooh.
So now that brings him down.
Okay.
And now...
Gonna...
Now I've been playing... The other thing that I've been playing recently is Shadow of the Colossus, so I'm well prepared for this.
So
and standing on shoulder blades is something that I've well perfected from that game.
Severing a Raveni's limb will only hinder them momentarily.
Okay, you can get it.
After a short time, the Raveni will regenerate its
No,
severed
I
limb.
don't think I got it.
He's gonna go for you.
I must find cover to regain my health.
No, come on back down, boy.
I mean, say what you want about them. They,
You
oh,
alright?
They are quite fast.
yeah.
They're faster than what I think they actually should be at that sort of size.
Especially when they've lost the leg.
I'm going to
okay.
see, can I take the other leg off?
It looks like.
Avil? Alright?
I mean, I'm assuming this will have an impact on your score, but
I mean, so can you see that 50% thing up there? That's like the city is not doing very well, let's say.
Oh, he has really taken out a real part of it, hasn't he? Alright, other leg.
Can I take out 2?
Oh, for a slap.
Good lord.
Alright, I feel like once you've got him onto his arse,
Yeah, you need to get around the back, right?
Oh, that's just cruel. That's really quite brutal.
Get back in there, reveal.
I mean,
I was trying to dodge through his slap.
So, okay, he's got one left foot back already. And get around him on his back.
Energy fully charged to execute this Ravenny.
Yeah, well, it's all right. We don't need to execute him at the moment. We just need to get over his.
Get that head off. Helmet off, even.
There we go.
Sweet. Can you get the arm off? Armor off.
Oh god, he doesn't roll enough. Like, he needs to be quicker. I feel like his everything else is really quick, but the dash, like, look how slow the dash is compared to like his actual run.
Yeah. Oh, well, I see what you mean. Like, it says when he switches into the roll thing, it just slows right down.
Slow. Like, that is.
It doesn't really carry his momentum with him, does it?
No.
But
it's all right. There we go. So I've got.
Don't. Okay, you're.
I mean, apparently I can have his arse land on me, but. Right.
Okay.
I wish it'd teach me how to use the hook shot, because that would be quite useful. There we go.
That is.
He's down.
Well done.
The other one, there are some more interesting armor types, because there's ones where kind of like they've got. If you know how kind of in Warhammer everybody has skulls on their knees.
Oh yeah.
They have like those, but there's fire in the eyes, and you have to extinguish the candles before the armor will collapse and stuff like that. So it does have a larger kind of variety of foes to go against. I completed it under 6 minutes though. Hooray!
I definitely read that as kill with any with both legs, as in sense of like, how are you using legs on this one? Like sort of as a murder weapon. They were kicking him to death.
I'm gonna check what's going on Facebook.
We've already got a link off to the store over there from Mediho. Thank you. Jordan, will there be a co-op or something in this? I feel like it'd be an awesome game with friends. It would be. I don't think
co-op is a thing.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw it, thinking, oh, this is probably a multiplayer game, but it is a single player. I think it's more about sort of you facing steadily larger and larger trolls and sort of working out how to take those down best. When does playing games become a living or work for you? I know.
So playing games for a living is not what I do for a living. I'm a writer and an editor, so my job is managing a website and writing about video games. Actually, the playing games is a very small part of the job, right?
Yeah, but for instance, like to stick with the point, that there are certainly times when, for instance, like you get an absolute joy of a game to play, and it feels like I Into the Breach last week. I played tons in my own time, even after I finished writing up my impressions piece on it. But then there are other things where it's like sort of I've wanted to be in a position to review it, and I've just been so far away from the end of the game, and I've just had to pile hours into it. And I've been working on a Stellaris piece at the moment where I've played for 30 hours, and it's taken up every evening I've been at home.
Yeah, I know that you've been spending an awful lot of, arguably a little bit more time than you were intending to, right?
Yeah, well, this is the thing. I thought it was going to be a quick impressions piece, but like I've been playing a full campaign, and like I'm really enjoying the game. But at the same time, it's like I do want my evenings to be something else, and it's sort of it's every now and then it's like. It's a balance. Sometimes you get to play a game for the perfect amount of time. Other times you only get a few hours to play with this, and then you have to move on to something else anyway, and that can be a bit frustrating in its own way. Certainly, you don't necessarily get to take the amount of time you'd like to play a game for. You're definitely cutting through them.
If too much of the town is destroyed or its people killed, we will have failed.
Yep, that sounds like something that would be bad.
Because also, when you were playing Divinity, for instance, like how many hours do you think you put into Divinity before you were able to write about it intelligently?
So I think Divinity is an interesting case in that I think you can write intelligently about Divinity after only playing sort of like maybe 6 hours of it or so, because the intro to it is so deep.
Yeah.
Right, there's so much stuff to do in Fort Joy.
Yeah.
I think the beauty of Divinity is it's something that you can carry on writing about. So my first campaign took me 70 hours to do to completion, and I could have written something fresh and new about it at literally every kind of like 5 to 10 hour mark of that.
Yeah.
To write a review of it, I think I would have wanted to have got to at least the 2/3 mark of it before you could have seen, because while you're seeing new things in the late game, you're not actually seeing anything that changes the crux of what the game is. But I'm sure most people would want you to have had a fairly substantial viewing of the game before you write a review of it and stuff like that. Obviously, the thing is it wouldn't matter how, like, I could play Divinity for 1,000 hours and never feel like it was work, because Divinity, I think, it wasn't just like one of the best games of last year. It's like one of the best games ever made. I think it's probably the best RPG that's ever been made. That's a really special case, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I get the other thing is it depends on what you do for a living, right? Is that kind of like, if we were full-time streamers, that suddenly becomes a completely different game, because your job is to play games. And I know a couple of streamers. I know someone that was that primarily used to be a Destiny streamer, and she didn't want to be a Destiny streamer full time anymore, because even though she loves Destiny, there are other games to play, right? And yeah, I guess kind of like having the demand of playing for 6 hours of the game that people want you to play every day, that must be quite hard.
Yeah.
So it's great for streamers that have an audience that are quite happy for them to play whatever game is kind of new or they're interested in. I imagine if you've been a Minecraft streamer since Minecraft began and you don't have the enthusiasm for Minecraft anymore, that must feel like actually going to work, like, you know, when I used to work in a job I didn't like at all.
Absolutely, yeah. Like it's one of those things which, and I know people who work as film critics and things like this, and it's one of those things where it's like as well, you sort of lose being able to go to the cinema as a thing to relax with.
Yes.
So it's also like that even if you're not going to see a film strictly to review it, it's sort of you're not going to stop analysing it. And
well, it's the thing, right, is that do you ever play a game and just forget about what the game is, or do you constantly have that kind of, even if you're not working critically with it, you sometimes think, oh, well, this is a bit... I think it's something that comes with loving things, right? Is regardless, I'm sure everybody at home that's watching this has that feeling where they can't just kind of shut off and relax with a game, because they always have this feeling of, well, it's not quite as good as it should be, or oh wow, this is really, really good, and I want to talk to someone about how good this is. Yeah.
Well, it's like I was talking about this in the office just the other day. Like, there's a book I'm reading at the moment where I can't get away from the fact that, like, I can just recognise all the references that are in it and this sort of thing, and it's like it feels very much, or it reads very much like a book written by someone who is wanting to show off everything that they've read recently or they've watched recently.
Well, that's the whole Ready Player One thing, right? Is that it's a book full of references to things that kind of feels like that Ernest Cline just wanted to sort of like say, oh, I know all 80s.
Okay.
We're going to lose this, by the way, because look at how bad shape the city's in.
It's fine, yeah, they can rebuild. Oh,
that dodge is dreadful. Sorry, it's just genuinely one of the worst dodges I've ever used in games. Oh.
He is, yeah. It's a good slap.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, be quiet.
I've been not really about to Into the Breach, but you know how there's the thing where if you're doing badly, you can just abandon the timeline and move on to another. And there's just sort of this thing of like Rich Stanton is. Whenever he gets criticised by like one of the CEOs of the corporations, like say, "But you didn't save all the people," he's like, "Well, fuck this timeline," and just disappears. And there's just this idea of like sort of the guy saying, "But the people are being crushed." It's like, well, if you're not going to be grateful about it, I'm just out of here. I feel like more games should have an abandoned timeline function.
They're destroying his kingdom, apparently. Oh dear.
So Aaron's asking on a scale of 1 to 20. Interesting scale. Like, what would we rate the game? And it's like, personally, I'd say it's way too early to tell. Like,
yeah, we're not very far into the game at all.
This is what, mission 3?
Yeah.
And despite I played 20 minutes at an event recently, and you played a brief bit.
Yeah, about the same sort of 20, 30 minutes.
Like, it's way too early to say. And also, it's like, after 3 hours, 4 hours, I'll have a better idea of how much I'd need to play to be able to say. But for instance, you'll be able to see, like, there are things that Matt's frustrated with already, like the dodge and that sort of thing. But then at the same time, it's like...
I quite like the concept, right? And, you know, as anybody that's, you know, ever been into Attack on Titan will tell you that, like, the concept of giant enemies is inherently quite cool. Which is why I think Shadow of the Colossus has always been, like... The interesting thing that I found when replaying Shadow of the Colossus, I know I'm talking a bit PS4 here at the moment, but I am going somewhere with it. The thing with Shadow of the Colossus is that it doesn't feel a day older than it was when it came out in 2006, was it?
Yeah.
And the reason why I found that is because there's never been quite anything like it. And already I've got kind of like a level of interest with this because I like smashing them up. It's good fun.
Yeah.
Games don't often work on this scale, right? So it's got that going for it. Aside from the dodge, the combat is very fluid. You can tell that it works really well at 60 frames.
Tell you what, just press escape. Or can you get to a menu? Like, we need to find... Oh, we've lost the turn.
Yeah. I'm gonna have
Let's
to
find out what this hook shot is, because, like, maybe there's a tutorial prompt that we've missed or that's coming up, but, like, it changed everything for me when I was using the hook shot.
Sure.
And it's a good way to sort of show off, like, just what this game can do with movement.
Yeah, I think a lot of work has definitely gone into it. There's it certainly feels not as fluid as maybe Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed has a very different fluidity, because Assassin's Creed is about is physical small movements, right, going to linking together, whereas this is much more about the grander kind of movement scheme.
Yeah.
View skills. No, these are so options, keyboard controls, grapple F.
Or the middle mouse button.
Right, middle mouse sounds quite nice.
So yeah, this is what we're like playing around a bit, because also it shows off the thing of like you get a load of sort of grapple prompts as you're moving through the city, and one of the things which sort of like I'll be interested to see more as we play, like sort of how much the state of the city can affect the player arena you have, because it's like sort of a load of the grapple points are on the side of buildings. As well as things like,
if they're... There we go.
If the buildings have been destroyed, then we don't have those grapple points. So it'd be interesting to see already.
So I'm already out the city, right? I love a grapple hook. I tell you, playing Titanfall the other day, and kind of like the grapple hook in that is a thing of beauty, basically.
Thing. So Just Cause 3 with grapple hook and infinite.
Oh God!
hell.
That was cool. I'll give it that. That was really cool.
Yeah, I feel that was definitely jumping straight into the eye of the storm. But yes, like there's something just wonderful about sort of like the infinite parachutes and the be able to leap about pow now. There we go.
Oh God.
I have to charge up my rune energy to take this thing down.
It's fine, we can do that. I don't mind charging up.
Not too sure about this rune energy system, because you can cut off the locks immediately, right?
Yeah. So I think as you cut off limbs and locks, that actually builds the rune energy.
Okay.
So it's not spending rune energy to do that, it's starting to build it.
Fair enough. Okay, let's take that arm gauntlet off.
Oh God. I think maybe I brought him down a little bit too early.
Too close.
Because
oh, you're alive. Sorry, how come?
Because he just easily smashed it, right?
Almost. It's a little frustrating how there's that narrow hitbox where you can...
It's alright though, he doesn't... Oh, I haven't built up enough energy.
Right, so that's when it becomes obvious. Alright. But yeah, so it's annoying that there's sort of like
I'll have to charge up my rune energy to take
a narrow slice where, that will cut off the limb, but if you miss that window, then it's sort of it just does nothing. Can you hit it again? Oh, nice.
And there we go. Right, so we've got our strike, so all we need to do is get him down on the ground.
Great job.
I mean, you can even... Oh, he's not got the belt on. So
no, yeah.
With the others, they've got the belt which you can use the grapple hook onto.
Yeah.
He's feeling a lot...
Now,
Ooh, careful of the hand.
Absolutely cocked that up royally. But we can get back on his back, it's alright. There we go, that's one of them. And we're still at 85%.
Aaron's asking if there's anywhere else that you can watch more of us. So, we pretty regularly stream on the site, and it's between
2 to 4 times a week, basically, depending on what we've got.
Yeah.
There's generally a horror stream that's every Wednesday, provided nothing else has gone catastrophically wrong in the office, which is Alice and Ben Maxwell. That's really, really fun. They're playing in Isolation at the moment. I highly recommend tuning into that. Little buggers. And then, Tuesdays are quite common to stream. We're streaming on Monday because we were supposed to have streamed on Friday.
But one of the things I'd definitely recommend is if you follow our Twitter account, we push out through that whenever we're doing a stream and what it is we're going to be streaming as well.
Yeah, follow Twitter. The other thing is obviously like we're not live all the time, but we're constantly making YouTube videos. You know, we're more than a streaming site. We are a proper game site. So we've got PCGamesN.com, the actual website where you can read all our lovely words. And then obviously any videos we make are on the YouTube channel.
Grapple on his belt.
Ooh.
Yeah.
There we go. Now, was this a normal helmet, or yes, it is?
Perfect. And neck.
Oh, I need to build up some more.
Nice dodging there.
Come on.
Oh.
No. I don't know if it's the mouse just not being the best thing for this, but
it's a little
sometimes
fiddly.
Sometimes you can there we go, come back down.
Careful. Yep. But
Should this get me up there?
On us to stream, we don't tend to stream all that much. I think you do a bit more frequently than I do, but
me, I hesitate to say I'm the regular streamer because I don't think we've got anybody that could quite say that they are the regular streamer. But I stream quite a lot, normally once a week at least.
Destroy the city of Eel. You are its people's only hope.
Where's that?
No, you don't, mate. You don't need those.
You're
legs,
cruel.
Overrated, mate.
A cutting person.
Come on, can I? Yes. Arms. Lol.
But he's had an arm off. It's like 127 hours in here. Well,
okay.
That's a
That's a follow.
Thanks,
see, they like my approach to cutting off limbs.
Yeah, you guys are all encouraging him to greater and greater acts of violence. Wait, is this the third troll you've had to take out?
So yeah.
They come in then.
I think these guys take a little bit too long to take down, personally.
You almost want more of them, but you can just carve through them.
Oh, I'm just going to leave the civvies.
They can look after themselves. They've proven that.
I'm fairly sure they can't. But yeah, I'm trying to think of what, like, you know how like in as we were playing the other day, Vermintide, you're just cutting down rats like
Yeah.
like they're nothing, right? I think that's kind of what I'd like the minions to be a bit more like.
Well, there is that sort of thing of like, it's wonderful to have a power thing where it's like you are clearly an incredibly powerful person because look what you do to normal enemies. But then it's like, but look how tough these bosses must be that they're soaking up more hits. So it's
Hold
also have you got both his arms off?
I'm trying to get his final leg off as well.
Glow when you aim at them.
There we go.
I suppose this
I've
means
turned
that
him
you
into
can-
just a meat hunk.
It's like audition.
Ugh.
Killy, 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 killy.
Off we go.
Yeah, if you didn't get that reference, you need to check out some Japanese horror. Goes by the name of Audition, and it is truly horrendous.
Thinking of horror, everyone's going on about this Veronica, right? Which is supposed to be the scariest horror movie ever made, Jules.
What is it?
It's called Veronica. It's on Netflix. It's a Spanish language horror movie. My flatmate watched it the other night and she said it was not very scary at all.
I feel like it's sort of quite a bold statement to say you're the scariest movie ever made. Though, Spanish horror, if you've ever seen, how's it called? Kidnapped or Captive? But like it's basically a whole film shot in 6 takes. And it's about a family who are held, well, it must be captive. They're held captive over an evening. And it is probably one of the most grueling, horrible films I've ever seen. Very, very good.
Sounds a little bit, have you ever watched The Devil's Rejects?
No.
Which is about like a horrible kind of family taking people captive. That is grim.
Okay.
Like, I don't know if it's good. I do know that it's grim and made me feel quite awkward.
Well, so, I mean, yeah, after the stream, if you're looking for something which will make you feel a little down
Go and watch
inside.
Funny Games, eh?
Oh, well, or that.
Don't go and watch Funny Games.
Which one, the original or the remake?
Both of them are awful. I mean, I say that. I think they're actually quite good films, but...
Which is strange, because you don't see all that much.
No. It's the atmosphere,
it's the
right?
powerlessness.
Yeah.
Like, the fact that it goes after you as a viewer to make you feel powerless is what's like... It breaks down walls.
Yeah.
Walls that should definitely be kept up.
We've got another...
Scariest film ever made, Barney's Great Adventure. Is this Barney the dinosaur? I'm assuming it may be, but...
I mean, he is terrifying.
I mean, why don't the kids realise he's a dinosaur? Why are they not running?
What did I see the other day? There's quite a famous actress, I'm trying to think who it is, who was in Barney the Dinosaur, and she was on a chat show, and they brought up like a clip from like the 90s of her. I can't remember who it was.
Scarlett Johansson. Let's just say it was Scarlett Johansson. Well, I'll show him.
There we go. They seem to be able to slow down the casting.
Oh, what, the jackals?
Yeah.
What can you use cash for, do you know? Or is that skill points?
I think they're skill points.
Have we cashed in any skills yet?
No, but we can go and have a look in a bit.
It's definitely worth a shot, I reckon. I'm going to follow... I'm going to say Kazeragian, but it could be Kazeragian. Gian or Jin?
Yeah.
Dude, let us know in the...
Just however... Well, I mean, do you want me to save them or not? You can't complain about my methods.
I mean, you can. Like, just because you're saving a person doesn't mean that you can cut off their arms, legs, and then head. But apparently, it does.
Look, my swords are passing through these civilians. I've got a non-friendly fire weapon.
Fair enough. And I say, if those things could cut up civilians, you would be slicing and dicing them. Or little pancettas.
Here we go.
God save the sentinels! Thank you!
Yep, sure, buddy. Sure. No!
Great work, Keep it up.
Another innocent life lost.
Unless if there were like a little more depth to killing those guys, because it does seem to be just keep slamming.
It's very much like rapidly click. We'll have a look in skills and see if there's anything I can, because the thing is like I'm quite happy just to rapidly click on enemies, but kind of like in a game like Diablo where you have a build, right, and you make your click do lots of different things. So let's view skills. We've got 5,510 points, so we can buy some health, or we can buy expert combat. Allows us to attack while dodging. That sounds useful.
Yep, definitely.
What's this do? Oh, so that gives me combos, so lots of left clicks.
It's basically just left click and then throw in any other button.
What's this do? Vault height.
I mean, this is pretty good. Okay, you got 1,000 left, so have you got any more after this?
You can have this one. Lightfoot, 10% higher off canopies and trees. I think we're doing okay for that. Rescue civilians, 20% faster.
Gonna be a good one.
There we go. I don't think any of those are going to substantially change the way we play, though.
I was quite looking at this, so it would be more fun possibly if you could cut down the smaller guys, but they got cut into pieces and reformed from those pieces. So we're talking like sort of Terminator-esque, maybe losing a few each time that you cut them down. So eventually you're getting them like sort of joining in from different body parts.
What they should do is when you chop them down, they turn into liquid mush that turns into the big guys.
Yes, that's it. It's like essentially they make them into Power Rangers.
Megazord them.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Oh well, you'll get them this time.
I've only got 10 minutes left, so I'm sure I'll get through it.
You're about to carve them down like a hot knife through butter. But the butter tastes like troll.
Yeah, okay.
It's not as good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, alright, you moaning kingdom waffer, you.
Yeah, if he likes his kingdom so much, he should be out here fighting, carving these things down.
Look, go back to the days of Shakespeare and the king was always on the front lines.
Yeah.
What happened to those classic days, eh?
Well, a lot of kings died that way. I mean, Richard III, Richard II, Richard I. All the Richards had a pretty bad time.
This guy's name is not Richard. I think he's going to have a very good time.
Harold. And he got it right in the eye, so...
There we go. That's faster, that's definitely faster.
The real question is, why are there all these teleportation crystals all over the place if no one can activate them? It does seem a poor like transportation
Have they
method.
heard of buses?
Yeah.
Now, buses are constantly on the move.
It's like essentially just like dropping off a Humvee outside of a school. It's like sort of, here's your method to escape, but at the same time, if none of you can drive, you're...
I wish I could grapple hook them in. To nip back to Titanfall, one of the best things in Titanfall is grappling another player and then kicking them in the face when they come to you.
What happens if you use your right-click hold attack on those guys? Is it?
I don't know if it works, but we'll have a go. Oh, apparently it does work. Okay. It didn't seem to do that much, but it seems.
It's got some knockback, but
it's like a teleport strike, isn't it?
Yeah, so I suppose it's one of the things where it's like if you're trying to get back into the fight or.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of Final Fantasy 15's got a like a combat move like that.
Keep up the good work.
This is a much better comparison. More like dropping off a hot air balloon, uninflated, and saying, "Here you go." Much better than the Humvee at a school. But I don't
maybe this kingdom doesn't deserve to have their civilians saved.
I mean, that's the way I'm leaning at the moment.
Oh, no. I mean, I don't actually have anything against the civilians themselves, obviously, but I think the system has failed them by a substantial margin.
I mean, it feels like they've put all of their counterattacks into building very large buildings and crystals that the poor can't access, rather than the police force.
Yeah, I know, right?
Protect the civilians at all costs.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe some of these civilians should pick up a pitchfork or so on.
Yeah, you know, do something to help them out. It shouldn't all, like, if physically their lack of yeomanry has meant that I am the only person, literally the only man that picked up a sword, when the entire, you know, country is being devastated by what essentially are giant orcs.
Yep.
I think I should be offered a break, and to be quite honest, I think if I lose one city, that's not too bad.
Okay. Oh, was it being blocked because of the well? Or?
I can't tell. It certainly wasn't working, was it?
No.
You cannot let this happen.
If I don't stop the Ravenni from destroying
Yeah, all right, boy.
there will be nothing left to save.
Avil,
What?
what are you doing? The Ravenni are destroying my kingdom.
I think this is over and done with.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I'm picking up not love. No, but okay.
I think the giant combat is good.
Yeah.
I like fighting those. It's this kind of feels like inconsequential, right? And even though there is massive consequences for it, the mission is ending. I'm not. I don't think the backdrop to it particularly makes me feel like I want to do this.
Yeah. It's also. Yeah. It's
Like
sort of
just.
having sort of cluster points where the civilians are going up to them, and essentially it's you just have to get there fast enough. And also is that frustrating thing where you died and then it spawns you back at the beginning of the map, and basically the thing which is holding you back is that
Getting there,
having
right?
to run back to where you previously were because the AI continue killing.
But it's like these guys don't particularly feel like they're slightly cowering, but I think like these small battles just take way too long. And all I want to do is get back to cutting off a giant's head or his leg. Cutting off the legs is well fun.
Yeah. Also, if they're going to go for that violence and you've got a hook shot, I'd like to sort of pin them down. Like sort of in the sense of harpoon them and sort of like sticking those into the ground so they can't move further forwards, and then cut down their leg and like be really brutal about it. Like sort of, let's have you sort of essentially.
Well, it's kind of like
hunting a leviathan.
Yeah, it's the
make you into the monster.
It's the whole thing of kind of like the combat in in Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor is so good because of just how brutally, awfully violent it is. And that largely is, I mean, there's much more of a combo system to Shadow of War than there is this. But the key thing is that you are just clicking on things until they die. But because the orcs are literally falling apart as you do it, there's kind of a much more of a
and also there's
enjoyment to it.
There's the combo in the sense of like, because there are enough enemies near you, as you're building up your combo, you're then doing something with it. With this, it seems to be because you're only fighting sort of 3 enemies at once. You don't really get much of a combo. You don't get to do anything with that combo. Like you don't get sort of invest this into a special move.
Whereas obviously when you're doing things against the Ravenni in this, you can feel like everything you're doing is building up to that final kill strike, right?
Yes, exactly. You're working to get them into a position where you're on the back of their neck. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Dudley. So I'm not a great fan of the people popping in as frequently as they do.
Yeah. There we go. Is he dead? Right, he's dead.
Where is the next thing? Oh, is it just here?
It's here, yeah.
Also, it'd be lovely if you were sort of fighting alongside a city guard. So the sense that like there is a town that's defending itself while you have to come in and take out the troll.
to regain your health. That was a good one. Do another.
Let me just think of like, I'd like to see someone, the trolls coming in and being sort of hit with catapults and showers of firing arrows, this sort of thing.
There's a section in Monster Hunter where there's like a massive kind of monster assaulting a castle, and I'm not actually the biggest fan of that mission, but the actual concept of it is great because you're loading cannons.
Can you just jump over these guys and get to the civilians?
I've got to kill these because that's my goal, is to kill 25 of these.
Okay.
But yeah, like in that mission, you're loading cannons, you're putting grapples into it to try and hold it in place. Yeah, kind of. I think kind of like the idea of being able to use artillery against them would be very, very cool.
I need to defend the city and its citizens. If it is destroyed, all is lost.
Nice. Okay.
I must save them at all costs. It's too dangerous to
No, so they really do hold down the. They stop you from casting that.
If you're attacked while channeling a crystal, the portal will begin to dissipate.
Well, there we go. I don't know how I can improve what I'm doing.
Oh, but you got the 25.
Yeah, but I obviously
need
didn't
to rescue 18 civilians.
Yeah. Oh well, what are we on? Yeah, we are. We've done the stream. We're at 5 o'clock.
Alright, you don't want to do one last try? See if you can...
Do you want me to do one last try?
I think you can do it. You got to 25 enemies that time. I think you can always double back and mop up the enemies, right? So
yeah,
leap those guys, get to the next civilian spot, get the civilians out of there, because they're the thing which is sort of losing you the mission more than it is the actual enemies themselves. Do you have to do all those things? Okay. Because yeah, the only thing you absolutely have to do is save the 18 civilians.
Yeah.
It's not, everything else is what do you call it, optional.
So I'm going straight past that guy.
Yeah. And he may well join the fight after you, but at least you're in there and taking them out before they're killing the civilians.
You made quick work of that one. Keep it going.
Nice.
How many is that?
Go. 5.
5. God.
Cool. Get them out there. It's on to, what, 7?
Nice job, Avil.
I feel like I'm learning to speedrun this now.
Leap them. You don't need to fight them. There we go. Oh. Nice.
So they seem to go down in 2 of the big strikes.
Perfect. Other guy. Ooh. Oh, too far away. Okay. We're up to, is that 9?
Not enough is what it is.
Okay, you can get these guys.
Great work, Avil. Keep it up.
It'd be good as well, like sort of if there was something you could just like shove enemies away with.
Yeah.
Because it seems to be that that move is obviously good at for knockback. Is there still one? Oh, yeah. Okay, now you can get.
There we go.
Perfect. Alright, I think that was another, what, 4? So you're down to something like the last 4 now.
There's loads of them here.
Perfect. In both senses of it. Oh, perfect. You got 2, both a green and a blue with that single strike then. Right.
Come on, down we go.
Got it.
The enemy has started killing civilians.
Well, they haven't started killing them. They've been killing them for quite some time.
One more on the other side.
Is there?
I think. Okay, apparently not. You've got this, but this is clearing it up. This has definitely got enough.
The
Woo! Now go and kill some more. Oh no, you're done.
There we go.
This is madness of you. We should be bringing the fight to the Reveni.
Nicely
Well,
done.
that's exactly what I wanted to do, but you made me kill all the stupid little ones.
They saw their armies butchered and their kingdoms reduced.
See, talking about kind of like, you know, the big things are the fun things. That's the thing I really like about Shadow of the Colossus. It understands that, so there's nothing else to kill. It is just the Colossi, because they are interesting enough to carry the game, right? You don't need to have all this superfluous nonsense that's going on elsewhere, yeah. And yeah, I sort of wish that this had seen that kind of like the protection of the actual city as an asset and like the destruction mechanics that's going on there and the physical monster threats is enough probably to carry this, I think.
Yeah, like it's...
Wonderful.
I feel like if there was more to the combat with the little guys, then it would be good. But also, it's like, certainly at the moment, it feels like it's keeping those battles very separate.
Yeah.
And all that those little guys would be, from what we've seen of them so far, is things to slow you down on the way to the big guys, which it's not fun to be slowed down. It's sort of especially with a game which seems to be all about movement and heavy strikes and this sort of thing, to then be sort of locked into being stood still and just slapping the same thing over and over again is less good. But that being said,
I did finish it and it didn't die.
Exactly. You took them down under 5 minutes, and just nailed it. You want to go again? We can get the 25 joke. No.
Nah, you're all right. You're all right.
Firstly, thank you very much for everyone watching.
Thank you.
And basically, if you want to see more of us, as we were saying earlier, there's lots of times you can see us. We tend to do about 2 to 4 streams a week.
Yeah, something like that, and they are generally always at 4 p.m. UK time. Sometimes they're at 3 p.m, but largely we tend to go for 4.
You can see us on Facebook, or you can go to twitch.tv/PCGamesN to see us on Twitch. Yeah, and
then if you do want to see us at any other time of the day, just go to our YouTube channel, and there's always our faces there. Plenty of that, and also obviously on Twitch you'll be able to get all the VODs, all the video on demands are there. And yeah, so if you want more of us, we can do that for you. That is something fine.
Separate to that, Extinction is out on 10th of April. We'll probably be doing some more coverage as we get closer to release, and we can get more time where we can actually break through more of the campaign and try out mission build and so on. That's probably going to appear on our website, which is pcgamesn.com. And yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Until next time, catch you later, guys.
Bye.